week's edition of Dragway Memories. We got lots to show you this week. We're going to begin with some Gator Nationals footage. Mike and Ollie Steffen took their new Corvette there, and this is what happened.
All right, this is 1978 at least, could be 79. If it's 79, this is after Ollie has won his first national event in San Air, heating the hides like crazy. They have now painted, they got this car from Claude Herveg. And boy, oh boy, these things, 8 rear end pieces, still in the independent rear suspension. Giant U-joints and everything helped, but still couldn't contain the 450 horse 454's torque and power. Ollie getting really aggressive on the start. 1978 or 79 Gator Nationals footage, courtesy Pete McRitchie. Here we go. This is what we brought it to you for. Over and over they go. No wheelie bars. Lots of damage. The pan, the headers, but more importantly, the fiberglass. Well, Pete got the coverage for us. Smashed up pretty good. Pretty hard landing, but of course it lives on, and it's still a record holder today.
All right, all you bottle aficionados, here's some more box art for ya.
I don't have to tell you. I don't have to tell you.
Final 5 of our top 10 stalker list coming at you now. Next week, Super Stock.
Number 5.
Another heavy-duty stock eliminator racers back in the day. John Cowboy Piper and the McDonald, and they ran several versions. This wagon did very well. You see, at this point, Bob Elliott had a speed shop for a little while, and he's thrown a little bit of sponsorship their way. This car ran with a 327, and you can see it's a PSP stock automatic car. I think they had several different motors in this car, including a 283, which is right on the edge of eligibility with this body style, a 67 Chevy wagon. And the same thing, they ran this car as a stick shift car, as an automatic car. They took weight in and out of it to run the same idea as Camille. Were able to run different classes with the same car without having to go ahead and find another vehicle. They were very competitive, found themselves in many final rounds locally for sure. We're always in the money, and a formidable team, Piper McDonald, and we miss seeing guys like that out and racing heavy-duty stock eliminator guys they were.
Number 4.
Bob Slater, Canadian Drag Racing Hall of Fame guy. This is a car after he had an extensive sponsorship with Armor All, which allowed him to go with all the best pieces and won national events with this car. And it also moved up and down classes with different trim from 72 to 74, a different compression 340s. And this car was gone over front to back. There was very little components on it. Even though it was a stock eliminator car that wasn't touched in some way or another. Bob got his start really racing Chevys, and I guess he found that he could do much more damage with a Plymouth Duster And this car was campaigned for many years, a very, very successful, a national event winner, many-time record setter. I believe this car still exists. It's in the East Ohio area, if I recall.
Number 3.
Volk, Dixon, and Armstrong. Main player here is Walt Dixon. Walt Dixon grew up with Greasy Gallon out of the Brampton area, Brampton, Georgetown, in that corridor. You can see here, it's sponsored by North Halton Motor Sales in Georgetown. This car, along with Bruce Fitzgibbon driving a very similar, same class car, they'd actually find themselves racing each other on a semi-regular basis. You can see Fred's Auto Body. That was a place just outside of Georgetown. Drag Dimensions, of course, needs no introduction. So Walt Dixon did a lot of tuning for Greasy Gallon. Later on had his own Chevelle that he and a Camaro that he ran out of Motor Disc in Brampton. This is teaming up with Volk and Armstrong. This car was painted candy red along with the 351 automatic car, and they won quite a few races, and they were, you can read some of the John Elliott articles about these guys. Gee, I'd love to know what happened to this car, because this car was a wicked fast car in its day. G stock automatic 69 Cougar 351, and at one point it had a 428 in it.
Number 2.
Vic Bellini, Canadian Drag Racing Hall of Fame inductee, rightfully so. He had numerous Ford-powered Mercury cars, and he was very feared. Now, the transmission shop built most of the area's high-performance transmissions. This machine is super rare. Ran mostly in the one-class I-stock automatic. It was the first one was Satisfaction. This is Satisfaction 2. This is a convertible 428 Cobra Jet Super Track Pack convertible. There's not many of them made. On one hand would be a total amount, but it was available. You could go to the dealer and order one. And this Mercury was a record holder, and this really put him on the map. Later on, he drove for Ford of Canada on their team when they toured Canada throughout 1970. Later on, he went back to some 390s and 427s in stock eliminator. Always a stock eliminator guy. Finished up with his Fairlane, and that car was a 390 powered car, and it held the record numerous times as well. So many-time record holder and good guy, Vic Bellini, Ford racer to the core.
Number 1.
And you can't say stock eliminator without talking about Jim Wild Goose, and this wagon, also a many-time record holder, and you can, the same idea, able to move around in different classes. This here classified as an N stock automatic 283, 220 horse, and this car was very, very trick. They constantly worked on this car. It was originally all white, then Mickey Thompson tires had predominantly yellow coloring, and they were helping out Jim and John Bevan. They ran this car all over the East Coast, usually did all the Division I races, and any close by national event like San Air or Columbus, Ohio. Wherever they could go racing, they could. J&J Automotive becoming quite a busy shop for Jim. And at one point, with the children coming along, he stepped back. Still campaigned a car, but not banging it out every day of the week like he did to garner all these records and go all these rounds. Jim also in the Canadian Drag Racing Hall of Fame, and deservedly so. This machine really put, as amongst others, but this one I feel is very indicative of what Jim Wild Goose could do given just a little bit of money. Stock eliminator racer par excellent in the Canadian Drag Racing Hall of Fame, his 68 Chevelle wagon.
All right, here we go. Some funny car burnouts mishmashed together. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's show. I know Eddie did. If you like what you saw, please hit that subscribe button and the like button. And I'm hoping you all hook hard, go straight, you're never late, and may your God bless you. And please, please, wear the damn masks. See you next week.